if it just have a turnaround rejection right at this level, then we could potentially see a capitulation movement to the downside. So with big bearish bar coming out, and then go back down to test about 6,000. So if this happen, this is the analog that we could refer to. So this is the last leg down and the bottom. But like I mentioned several times, we don't really need to pick the absolute bottom, and because even if we pick the absolute bottom, it won't be that easy. So in terms of the volatility, so if you buy this kind of buy the stocks, and some of the stocks could also stop you out as well. So do not rush into the market, and just simply buy a lot of the so-called undervalued stocks, because just simply because some of the stocks drop like 30%, 40%. For example, I could easily just give you an example. The previous outperformer, Robinhood. So look at this, from 150 now is below 70. That definitely is dropping more than 50%. So is it a good buy? Not too sure from the fundamental point of view, but from a technical point of view, definitely is still a downtrend, and I do not see sign of slowing down yet, apart from there is exhaustion of the momentum to the downside. So small candles, but we do not also see the aggressive demand picking up. But of course, right now you probably could argue that it's right at the access line support level. Could it be a buy? Well, from a trading point of view, it probably you could do that. So buy at the supports, put your stop loss below, and that could be a trigger and go up. First target 18, second target somewhere around 90. So there could be some trading opportunities, but if there is a rejection for S&P 500 right at the 200 moving average, it could easily just break below the support level and find its own supports and form the structure as well. Okay, so from the price aspects, this is a rally from the bottom, from a temporary bottom here, 64. And since we have a leg down, this is a relief rally going back up, and it's also supported by the short-term breath. So looking at this short-term breath, in my email, I also talk about there is a bullish divergence. So where exactly is the divergence? So the divergence actually came from a higher low right here. So we have a higher low form right after that. We have this strong rally. So low in the price, so higher low in the short-term market breadth, and then followed by a strong rally. So right now, since the market breadth have been improving, and we do not see a reversal candle yet, and last Thursday was interesting. So if you pay attention to last Thursday candle, is actually with the, I think that's where the Trump gave a speech, and it just doesn't talk a lot about the resolution from the war, and doesn't really provide guidance. So that's why we have this kind of the dip. But after the market open, the US market open, and it just go back up. So that is weird, because I thought it would just reverse the rally and then come back down, just because of what Trump just spoke. But it didn't, and it just have a demand tail. So something has changed. So with a lot of the bad news shown up happen, whether you just hear the speech, or whether you look at the headline, yeah, all the bad news. the oil is right at the high, and Iran is just keep retaliate, and US is just keep bombing. It doesn't seem to have a resolution out from the war anytime soon. And even if there is some potential proposal, and it's just quite confused. So the US just mentioned one thing, and Iran just mentioned another thing. So it's quite confused. So anyway, so bad news already all along, all on the wall, and we do not really have the price reflect the bad news. So it doesn't really react the bad news. In fact, it just hover there. So this is strength. So that's why in an email I talk about this likely going to have a potential continuation of the trend to just go up to at least test the MA200. So we need to see how strong is the strength, or how good is the demand. So whether we'll have those sell into strength, sellers step in to sell right at 6,700, and then with big bearish bar, then it's definitely is triggering the short selling here. If not, I think it could just consolidate here and then slowly get back up. That's also possible, and there will be a lot more stocks to participate. So right now, the 6,700 is the most important level that we need to pay attention to. So the bearish case will definitely be like last year. So a reversal from the MA200, and then followed by acceleration to the downside. So that's a very straightforward bearish case. So a bullish case will be also a reaction, but in this case, the reaction is not as sharp as per last year, but in fact, instead it will just form a test. So something like pullback and then going back up, and eventually just go back up. So to save this trading range, I think that will be very bullish. So let's see what happened after the test of the MA200, because based on the strength of the market, it's likely going to have a continuation to test at least MA200, and also to overshoot that. If the market is mercy, then it could just go all the way back to 6,800. So this is the access zone that has been tested many times. So we have here tested quite a few times, tested here, tested right here. So if it could just move all the way back to 6,800, that's also a proof of their strength in the market, and a pullback, and then followed by go back up. So that's only just an index. If this happened, pay attention to the stocks, whether it is the map that I just show you, and a lot of the value chain. I think they will just pick up. So apart from the value chain map, right now the space sector is also outperforming. So probably is going to have supported by the largest IPO from space, the Elon Musk company. So that could help to push the space companies higher, because most of the space team company, they already just move up. So that's quite a few sectors, and memory sectors also quite strong as well. Definitely need to take a look back at the memory sector. Okay, that's the S&P 500, and